NASCAR fans are leaving the sport because the race is boring or the finish was boring. And that's what I hate. So what, the race was boring? So what, the finish was boring? Not every race is going to be exciting. Yes, the packages, mile and a half tracks suck. But just because the sport is boring does not mean you should just leave the sport. Like, how is NASCAR going to ask the fans what they need to change if there's no fans to ask? Like, seriously, think about that first of all. And then today's race. First off, I'm going to give it a rating 7 out of 10. Most of it was pretty boring, but when we had pack racing, it was amazing. Just going to say that right now. The finish is what I'm going to be talking about. People are blaming the rules package for, you can't pass. Like, okay, here's some examples of how you can pass. 2011, tandem racing. You're pushing somebody. You could easily pass somebody because, it's tandem racing. 2012, Kyle Busch, Tony Stewart. The Budweiser shootout. They're pushing each other and easily pass everybody. 2013, David Reagan, David Gilden. Passing the top 3 or 4 leaders because they're pushing each other. 2016, Daytona 500. Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick. They passed Kenseth, Kyle Busch, Suarez, Edwards, and Matt Kenseth. How? Which they're pushing each other. 2017 Talladega Fall Race. Keselowski passes Newman because Logano was pushing him. 2018 Daytona 500. Dillon got to Eric Almirola and it happened. But how did he get there? Because he was being pushed by Bubba Wallace. So you guys see the trend, right? Everything I just said right there involves pushing. Okay, here's what I'm gonna tell you guys right now. The single file racing that we had today and have had for ever, it's not the rules package. It's the drivers. The rules package doesn't make you stay in one line. The drivers choose to stay single file, not the package. You can pass. I mean, we've had lead changes in this race, so you can easily pass. But you see here what Kurt Busch did wrong on the last lap. I know it probably wouldn't happen because whatever, but you see, like I said, it doesn't matter what rules package you have. If you could push the person in front of you, like if you actually just push him. So like, let's say Kurt Busch got off the gas in like turn 3, and let Stenhouse get to him, and then they could push by Logano. Like, it's not really just a package itself. If the drivers can communicate, I think of a plan to pass the leader. Like, Chase Elliott and Kurt Busch were the only ones trying, but if you come up with a plan, and instead of, staying single file like half the drivers decided to do, if you actually want to win, how about you decide to actually push the driver in front of you and, move with the driver to pass him? Like, what happened to the thing in 2011 where you could talk to the drivers? Like, Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch could talk to each other, or Dale Earnhardt and Tony Stewart. What happened to that? If we had that today, Kurt Busch, Stenhouse, and Harvick could have communicated with each other and come up with a plan. They could have set up a plan, could decide when to do it, and then they could have actually either done it or they would have failed. But hey, they had a plan and it probably would have worked, right? But we don't know because nobody tried it. Because we can't communicate, and the drivers decide to stay single file and don't try to make a pass. Like, I understand that, yeah, they want to win, but they're not really showing it. They're just staying on the yellow line and just not moving out of line to make a pass. Like, Denny Hamlin made more moves in the second pack than half the drivers in the first pack are doing. So you can't blame the rules package for not passing. It's the drivers. We've always had single file racing, before we had the bad racing. And we always will have single file racing. It's not because of the package, it's because of the drivers. If the drivers choose to do it, they're gonna do it. No matter what car they drive, it's always gonna happen. And like I said, just because the race is boring does not mean you leave the sport. I've been watching since 2012. Yes, haven't been watching as long as most people, but I'm more dedicated to those people who will watch it for as long as they have. I'm gonna watch NASCAR until I die, or until it dies. But if people actually decide to not leave the sport and actually try, if we could get enough people to get to NASCAR, I believe we could do it. But if we're always losing fans, we're never gonna get to NASCAR. I know NASCAR probably isn't listening, but the more people we have talking to NASCAR what we could do, the more likely it's gonna change. It probably will change in the next couple years, but they could change it again. It could be the wrong change. We gotta get enough people to tell NASCAR what we need to change. But if everybody's just gonna leave the sport, what fans are gonna tell NASCAR to change? And that's why NASCAR is dying, because it is NASCAR's fault for the fans are leaving. But if the fans are leaving, then NASCAR is guaranteed to die, because if the fans stay, NASCAR won't die, but they won't make the money. But like, people are saying that the race is boring. They could have done better stuff than what they saw today. Really? So how about when the racing was good back then? What stuff did you have to do then? Nothing. So why is it because it's boring all of a sudden? Now you have something to do. I don't understand that. It's boring, so you just have to stop watching it. Oh, sorry. It's boring. Races are boring. Back then, races were boring. In the future, races are going to be boring. Not every race is going to be exciting. It's going to have a great finish, photo finish, a flip, a crash. Not every race is going to have that. And you have to accept that, because life's not fair in the first place, but it's just not going to happen every week. You're not going to have a great race, not going to have a great finish. Short tracks, even Richmond. Richmond wasn't as good as Bristol. Martinsville wasn't good as Bristol. But you are going to have weeks where, even today, you're going to have good races. Like 2016 was a great year. 2015 was not that great of a year. 2017 was okay. 2018, But you will always have, every year, you're always going to have good races. But, yes, it's not as good as the past. But like I said, if fans are leaving, there's going to be no fans to tell NASCAR what to fix. So, if NASCAR is going to die, it's going to be because of the fans, not really just NASCAR itself. Because, yes, the racing's boring, but you choose whether NASCAR dies or not. Okay? And for the people like me who are dedicated, and if it does die, I'm just going to be disappointed in everybody, because, yes, NASCAR is bad racing sometimes, but not every race is going to be exciting. It's not, you're going to have years where it's not going to be a good year. Then you will have years where it's going to be a great year. 2012 was a great year. 2016 was a great year. 2015, what happened that year? I mean, besides Kyle Busch winning the championship and Logano winning the 500 and Junior winning Talladega, that's not really much stuff happened. 2015, 2017 was a decent year. A couple good finishes, a couple good races in general. You had bad races. But not every week is going to be perfect. Not every year it's going to be perfect. It's always been that way. It's always going to be. It's just, it's up to the fans to where NASCAR dies or lives.